Okay, so we're gonna do a bit of a front yard garden tour. I think this is called Sweet Perfume Trinidad Pepper. It took forever to ripen, so I'm gonna cut this down and take it inside. Very dreary today. These are my green stalks. I have lettuce and kale, nasturtiums and spinach, and some peas. Like, I've never really actually grown peas successfully, but these are supposed to be like container peas. We'll see. They're supposed to be yummy. This is my other one. There's some, again, lettuce and Swiss chard, and all of this was started from seed. Some of these don't look super great, but it is what it is. Most of them do. So these are the things I'm going to overwinter. I've got some daylilies tree salad, which is a hibiscus family green that grows in the heat. It's really good. I have a variegated basil, some sweet potato vines. This is a pink ginger, I think it's called, um, that I'm just going to leave in that pot. I need to repot this clematis. I want it actually in that pot because it's bigger and more room, and this actually will fit in it better. And I have a clematis I bought from the Master Gardener sale that I'm going to put in here, and it's supposed to be covered in these white blooms that are really fragrant, so we'll see. This is my other green stalk, and started out with about 6 strawberries a couple months ago, when I reset it, and then I've been like setting the runners in. So I'm leaving about 6 to 8 pockets empty because I do want to grow some micro dwarf Roma tomatoes next year in here. But these are, oh, I don't have any flowers, but there's a seascape, I think, and some pink flowered strawberries. So it'll be really pretty. There's one. It's a little ratty, but you can kind of see what it looks like. So Uh, this is my mom's hibiscus she gave me cuttings of, and like these are daisies that she gave me. So pretty much everything I have has been gifted, right? So they kind of mean a lot to me. They're sentimental. Peach tree. I grew this from a seed my mom gave me too, actually. So we kind of had not a fun season because all of my blueberries look really dead. And they may not come back. We'll see. You could probably see the new mulch. I planted some sugarcane here. We'll see if it overwinters. I don't know if it will. I hope it does, but there's just no telling. So there is daylilies. These are my Nana's daylilies. This is some turmeric that's kind of died out, but that will last through the winter as long as it doesn't get too waterlogged. Some spiderwort. I just got this at the plant sale too. It's like a white walking iris. It does like it really moist, so it may not survive here long term, but we're gonna give it a shot. All of these are baby violet seedlings. Wah, wah. This is a red Turk's cap, and over there you can kind of see the pink one. I need to cut them down. This one's pretty spent, so I'll cut that one down this weekend. But I do leave these up pretty long because the hummingbirds and the uh, butterflies and stuff really like to feed off of those. This is a new plant we put in. It's called a seckel pear, and there's just like kind of 3-inch, 4-inch tall pears that are really sweet and blight resistant, fire blight resistant. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see if it works. These are some native plants, some mint and uh, daisies. This is my pawpaw, but you can see there's a briar growing in there. I need to get that out. No bueno. My mother gave me this mum, and I'm rooting some of it right now too because I want to spread it around the garden. It's the most beautiful. It looks kind of sad right now because of the rain, but it's the most beautiful little pink mum flowers. This is a cherry tree. I'm probably going to cut that down quite a bit because I don't like that it's V'd and then V'd up there because that put a lot of pressure right at that crotch. So probably going to cut that about here and here and then see if it'll put out some more like lower down limbs to be a better looking tree structure. This is a Carolina spice bush, but it's struggled this year clearly. So I did plant some natives. You can see some of these just throughout the year. This year I started planting a bunch of natives because it gets kind of crummy looking in the middle of summer out here, just because it gets really dry. But this is some blue lupine. This is a tiger fig. I did actually get a couple figs off of this. They're really tasty. It is pretty sensitive, so I try to mulch it a lot in the wintertime to make sure that it um, hopefully comes back. These, you probably saw the strip of them. Those are mulberries, the world's best mulberries or something like that. I cut them down to about 4 feet each year, and they just shoot up like that. Give you a lot of mulberries. I have echinaceas kind of all over. These are a spider lily, not a spider lily. They're, well, they look like little spider. Anyway, you won't know what they look like yet. I'll give you a video of those later. But these are Nanking cherries. Got a lot of cherries off of those this spring. Made some really good jam with them, so I'm very happy. Um, these are a type of onion. They come up like purple and green when they flower, so they kind of self-seeded all over here. This is sweet potato I haven't dug up yet. I'll wait till the frost and dig these up. They're called Tai Nung 64. They're supposed to be really prolific, so we'll see. This is evening primrose that I put one little plant in years ago, and it's taken over everything. So here we have a yam. This is an air potato yam, Dioscorea alata. And here's one of the air potatoes. They can get bigger, but it's just like the second year, and it's kind of shady right here, so it doesn't have the best uh, environment, you know. This is a native passion fruit. I don't get a lot of passion fruits off of it, and I had tons of butterflies and caterpillars all over it this year, so I'm pretty happy about that. The blossoms were beautiful. They smelled amazing, so I'm okay if I don't get passion flower fruits off of this year because I just like the vine. Also, passion fruit leaves can be dried and good for like a sleepy time tea to give you some calming. So this is my other pear, a Warren pear. I didn't get any pears off of them this year. I'm gonna prune it pretty dramatically once everything, like probably in January when everything's really asleep. So you can't, these are some native sages. You really can't see them in here unless you know where to look. But some more sages, a mullein, echinacea. Uh, this is called Mexican marigold. I think some people call it Mexican tarragon. I think you can eat it, but I wouldn't unless you're trying to have a certain experience. So let's see over here. This is called Helianthus, and it's kind of looks not right now, but it'll have these beautiful orange flowers next year. So I'm really excited about that. The yarrow, you can kind of see those ferny leaves. That had died back quite a bit this summer because it was just so dry. But it has come back and doing really well. This is a peach tree that my neighbor gave me, and it makes the most beautiful dark pink flowers. I haven't gotten edible fruit. We have to pretty much put a bag over any fruit we want to get around here, otherwise pests will damage it. I did have a bunch of shiso growing here. It's very dry shade and it did really well. Like I left a few to go to seed. But I did put some natives in here from the plant sale, and I also right back there, you can't tell, but I dug a straight line and buried a whole like branch full of beauty berries. Because I have a beauty berry bush, but my husband doesn't like where it's at, and so I'm trying to grow one in a better spot. So I figure if I planted a whole strip of them, at least one of those berries should come up with a bush. And they like dry shade, so they should do really well here. Some of these natives like it a little moist. We'll see how well it goes, but that's where we're at. So this is my gummy berry. Got a ton of berries off of that. Got to trim it down and keep it short enough where I can really access the fruit. These are my Nana's irises. I have a black-eyed Susan right there. And there's a sage. You can kind of see the sticks, but it's a little dead right now. It's that time of year. These are my blueberries, kind of in the shade. They struggle because they're in the shade, but I still get a good haul of berries off of them. So I'm pretty happy about that. All of these little baby seedlings, these are all violet seedlings. I have violets everywhere, which is fine. I make violet jelly. Violet leaves are an edible green you can eat. So it's not like the end of the world, but my goodness, they take over everything. This is my anniversary rose. It looks a little sad right now, but it usually shows out really well in the spring. And if I kept it trimmed back and watered a little better, it probably would look great, but it's kind of thrive or die here. I don't have time for all of that. So this is my almond tree. It put out one almond this year. Still got some leaves at the top. Everything's kind of dying back right now, so I'm happy that this thing is doing well. These are some daisies I got from my mom. You probably can't see them right now, but last year they didn't bloom at all, and this year they did really well, so I'm happy about that. Let's see. Some sedum. been struggling right here, but it's still alive. Echinacea. These are some blueberries. They are Bush and Barrel. I don't remember the name of the company, but they're really good berries. They stay short like this, maybe 24 inches tall, but give some big full size blueberries that are really tasty. So I got those at Tractor Supply, believe it or not. You got to get them early before they're half price because if you wait till they're on sale, they're not good quality. They won't grow very well. So more sweet potato. Again, when it freezes, I will dig these up and see what we get. And this is my Primark blackberry. It doesn't look like the prettiest blackberry in the world, but oh my goodness, the berries are sweet and they're big and you get a ton of them, and I'm never getting rid of it. So I have some sparkling bright thyme. This is like a lemony scented thyme. I have dried that and used it in tea because it's not really a thyme flavor. It's more like a lemon balm type flavor. So uh, these are, I think these are a yellow type of strawberry that didn't do super well. So I put them in a pot and hopefully they'll do great this year. And I'm going to take this dead sunflower out, but this is catmint and it's really happy here. The bees love it. They fed on it all year, but as you can see, the ants like it in here too. And I'm trying to transplant stuff into there, so it's going to be a little tricky. This is a plum. My husband loves plums. I have one in the backyard and then I put one in the front. This is kind of like my flower bed, crazy looking stuff. So this is a crabapple. I'm going to cut this down. This is just I think it's called white ice or something like that, vanilla ice or something like that. Sunflower. It's like a real pale butter yellow. It's beautiful. So in here is a bunch of flowers. There's blue bonnets right here. You can see that will overwinter. There's a bunch of echinacea. There is St. John's wort, if you can see it right here. There's mint. There's mums, and I got a couple mums from the garden center this year and planted them in here. There is, let's see, a rose. That is a Coco Loco rose. It's really pretty. It's not in bloom right now, but it makes a really subtle, pretty rose. I have some sage that I'm really hoping will overwinter. I'm not holding my breath. I overwintered sage like without any problem in Lubbock when I lived there, but here every year my sage just dies, and I'm really hoping it doesn't this year. So there's a bunch of seedlings that I'm leaving. They'll overwinter like this right here is a nigella with this little kind of fern thing coming out. So that's love and a mist. They make these beautiful blue flowers, and they will overwinter in our mild winter here. Like it does freeze, but not a ton. There's some asters I have here and here. Those are native and are great for the bees. Like this year, they were just getting started, so not so much. But next year, really, really will do great. Some liatris, you can kind of see just like the blades left over. Over here, skullcap, these pink flowers. This is a blue sage. I put in some Johnny jump ups because I put some in years ago and they tend to come back, but I would really like some more, and they are really freely self-seeding. So anyway, right here, everything looks a little rough, right? Because it's fall, but this is covered in flowers most of the year, and I'll cut it back now that it's pretty much done its thing. And all of the bees and the butterflies, there's no more flowers left for them to feed on. So I will cut all this down and it'll get put away for winter. This is a persimmon. You can still see one of the persimmon tops here, and a black-eyed Susan from my mom / my grandma's house growing there. And then the only other thing is, at least in the front, this right here is a why can't I think of the name? Oh, if it comes to me, I'll tell you. But jujube. That's a jujube, and this is a contorted jujube that I grow. So that is a chicken and beef herb tree. I don't remember what its official name is, but I like it. It tastes just like ramen, the leaves. So I planted some snapdragons and an annual in here. You can see they've gone to seed, right? So the bees and stuff were really all over this, and like I said, we're gonna get our first frost any day now, and I'll cut all this back, and hopefully it will come back. That is a new fig that we planted. It's got a ring and mulch to try and keep the roots from freezing, because around here they usually freeze to the ground and then grow back up. This is a calendula that will actually probably make it through most of the winter here, so we'll see. Blue sage, I did this year put in some hostas. They look, like I said, hard to see, and we painted the house, so there's a bunch of paint chips, so we'll, just ignore that for now. But hosta, anywhere there's a brick, there's a hosta plant right behind it. Most of them have died down for the year. Like that one looks, I don't know, that one doesn't look good at all. That one may not come back. So, and there's one here, here, and then here. I did put some, I think it's called Santa Rosa prickly pear, and some, quote unquote, uh, spineless prickly pear, but it does have little gawkids. We're gonna see if those overwinter. And then here is my newest fig. It's a Scott's Black fig from LSU, and it's supposed to be really good. Just as long as it makes it through the winter, we'll be okay. And then we have, this is my oldest fig, Violet de something, but it's a really good fig. It's little black figs and they taste amazing. This is one that was a cutting from that first one. This is supposed to be a pawpaw, but it looks really sad. There's another cutting of that first fig, and there's my other pawpaw. And I have some orange mint that grows back here just all year round. And that, my friends, is the whole front yard. All that to say, it looks like a normal landscape, right? But I am growing a bunch of edible greens. Strawberries are there, edible. Violets are there, edible. Blueberries are there, and nobody knows the difference. Figs can be grown everywhere. The sweet potatoes are a great ground cover. All of these hostas are edible. So just normal landscape plants that you can eat when you want to. So that's kind of the whole idea here. So thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.